wowed us with his strength of mind, shocked us with his ice bathing, thoroughly relaxed us with his breathing techniques, live on the show. So now the Iceman, Wim Hof, is hoping to teach us how to have better mental health in his brand new podcast.
But how Wim discovered his techniques is a story worth telling on its very own, and he's back with us now. And Wim, it's always lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us again this morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
You're very welcome. So this is quite exciting because obviously for you, the most important thing that you do is to get your message out there, to tell as many people as possible about your method. And one way that you're doing that is the podcast.
It is. And the podcast, it's amazing how deep you can get with simple questions. I mean, we are built to be happy. That's not only my conviction, but this is what I show in scientific brain scans kind of research, that we are able to tap into our brain much deeper, and with that gain control over the brain functioning. And that's what you want when you are out of balance, when your mood is gone. You want to regulate your mood. And we found it, and now I want to spread it.
Well, you say that talking is essential, and being aware of your mental health, being aware of how you feel, being aware of life. And you're doing this podcast with your son. And is that something that you've always done as a family, to talk about how you're feeling?
Yes. Me and my son and my other children, we all work together, and very successfully. It's not that me and my son, sometimes we have clashes, but the chemistry is amazing. We cover it all. We got a lot of wit, a lot of jokes, and a lot of bonding. We work together fully. Not only my oldest son, all the four of the first marriage, they all work with me. When I lost my wife back then in '95, now we are a very happy family.
Mm. And you mentioned your wife there, because really this is where it all started for you, because there was this tragedy, the loss of your wife, and you say that she was this vibrant woman, she would talk, she was an incredible person, and then you saw this kind of darkness creep in, and she changed completely, and you just watched her slipping away really in front of you.
Exactly. And I was hopeless, I was helpless, and the psychiatrists and the psychologists and the treatments, the injections, the medicines, the pills, it was all powerless. It didn't work at all. So there I was, left with a broken heart after she committed suicide. I mean, she kissed her kids goodbye before jumping off 8 stories down. And there you are, in a black abyss, in the darkness itself. You just fall into it. You don't know what is happening, and it's happening. But at the same time, I needed to be with my children, because I had 4 children, little money, and there you are with a broken heart. So the only time I could release myself of my agonizing emotional pain, which goes on and on and on, you don't know how to address it, you don't know how to control it, but you gotta be there for the kids, was going into icy cold water. Because what happens when you go into icy cold water, you just survive. That gave me a peep in something else than the ongoing agonizing emotional pain. And that healed me. And now, 25 years later, I have proven in psychiatry, in brain scans, that I actually, through going into the icy water as an intuitive effort to release myself and to find a hold in myself to take care of my 4 children, I found a pathway, a neural pathway that makes me able to still my mind while being in emotional pain and stress.
Do you think, Wim, that knowing what you know and the research that you've done and everything you know now that you didn't know back then, if things had been different, do you think you could have helped her more?
Absolutely, absolutely. And now I will keep on going with researchers, psychiatrists, and the best of the world. Right now, we are doing this research on the method. In August, end of August, the new results on the DNA and depression coming out. With Detroit, we do bipolar conditions. And it will show that we have found a new possible neurological pathway in the brain from the will to the deepest part of the brain to learn how to regulate our mood, which is emotion. And stress always affects our emotion, our well-being, our happiness. And we can't control that, but we found it.
And it sounds like it's going to be a complicated, long years of therapy in order to get there. But your method is way simpler than that. It's based around some real principles. And the principles are the cold water, which you've discussed there, but also breath work as well.
Absolutely. Breath work comes out of the cold. When you go into the cold, the first thing you do is, that's what happens when you go into the cold. You learn to breathe deeper, by which you get a hold of the biochemistry. You alkalize your blood deeply within, even deeper than in science was thought possible. That is the lymphatic system, and you are able to cleanse it. And with that, the neural activity coming from your will, which is neurology, your will is neurosignaling, is able to touch the neurology of the rest of the body. So whatever is going on in the body, blockages, biochemical residue, blocking your being, and you don't know how you feel, now you are able, just by thought, at will, to control and to rebalance that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And one of Holly, I think, discovered you, out of the two of us, discovered you first. I then listened to Russell Brand's podcast, and then we were both hooked and entranced. And it's lovely, actually, that he's now guesting on your podcast.
Yes, and yeah, he's a great debater, and he had a lot of issues with addiction, and now he just questions, why is there addiction and all? And he found me. And now he is doing this method like every day because he feels this works.
Oh, yeah. Wim, it does work. We could talk to you all day about this. It is totally and utterly fascinating. But for people to be able to just get an insight, a taste of what you're talking about, the podcast is available Monday, the 14th of June. And you've got loads of incredible guests on there, all experiencing what your method is like and learning how to do it for themselves.
Thank you, Wim.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.